What's going on, people of the internet? Hyperchaotic here with a KRR, and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time visiting my channel. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions, dear viewer. What makes a reaction video actually worthwhile versus copy and pasted content? Does your favorite reactor add any value to their content, or just rehosting clips for views? Why do some reactors get praised for it, while others get accused of stealing from other creators? As a casual reaction content enjoyer, I've been pondering these questions for a while, and I think I finally found some answers. You might wonder why I'm even asking. Well, lately there's been a surge of online discourse around reaction videos. Some people love them, others hate them, and very few seem to land in the middle. It's usually one extreme or the other. Critics often argue that reaction content is nothing more than copyright infringement. Personally, I disagree, especially when commentary and fair use comes into play. Of course, fair use in the context of reaction videos is a legal gray area. It's not black and white, and the boundaries are often blurry. But that ambiguity suggests that there's room for interpretation. When done right, reaction content can be transformative, insightful, and legally defensible. So how can someone actually do reaction content the right way? And just as importantly, how can it go wrong? If there's a right way to do it, that means there's a wrong way to do it. And trust me, there is a wrong way to do it. That's exactly what we're diving into today. I'll walk you through what makes reaction content work and what makes it fall flat, by comparing a creator who nails it with a couple who, well, don't. I'll break down the do's and don'ts of reaction content once and for all. Now, before we dive in, I need to cover a couple of quick points. First, when I talk about reaction content, I'm referring to both pre-recorded videos and live streams. That said, this video will lean more toward live streams since our examples come from that space. I'll still touch on how reaction styles differ between the two formats. Second, I know some might disagree with my choice of the creator who does it right, especially due to his past opinions on politics and other issues. But let's be clear. Personal beliefs or behaviors outside of their content aren't relevant here. What matters is the transformative quality of the reaction itself. So let's break down the do's and don'ts of reaction content and see how our examples measure up. Representing the do it right camp is Asmongold, arguably the gold standard of reaction content, and yes, pun absolutely intended. On the other end of the spectrum, we got creators like SSSniperwolf and XQC, examples of how reaction content can go wrong. These creators often react with little to no commentary, barely transforming the original material. It's more like watching someone watch a video than experiencing something new. That's where the line between reaction and re-upload starts to blur. Asmongold represents a model of reaction content that leans into transformation. Rather than simply replaying clips for clicks, he uses the watched material as a launch pad for sustained analysis, storytelling, and debate. His reactions feel like a conversation. He interprets the clips, links it to broader trends, and reacts in ways that only his audience expects from him. That makes the output distinctively new work. Viewers tune in for his perspective, not just to reconsume the original video. By contrast, many high-profile examples of reaction content have drawn criticism for trimming and reposting others' work with minimal commentary. When reactors upload large portion of someone else's work, use thumbnails that emphasize the original creator subject, and offer little tagging or linking back, the upload functions more like content rehosting than transformation. This pattern amplifies the original while diverting ad revenue and views toward the reactor, creating ethical and legal tensions. The distinction isn't only moral, it's practical. Transformative reactors reduce copyright exposure by ensuring their work is new in purpose and expression. They build relationships with other creators and their audiences. Reactors who rely on near duplicates risk copyright claims, algorithm penalties for repetitive content, and reputational harm among both viewers and peers. In short, the choice between being a value-adding commentator and being a repackager determines whether reaction content strengthens the creator ecosystem or erodes it. Reaction content can be a constructive, culturally valuable format when creators treat source material with respect and use it to produce something distinctively new. Using Asmongold as an example of high-value reaction work and contrasting that with patterns that look like rehosting content highlights a clear path creators can follow to stay both ethical and sustainable. Now you might have gotten this far into the video thinking, but HK, it doesn't matter how transformative the creator tries to be, how much commentary they give, or how often they pause the video. Reaction content is lazy, and therefore bad. Full stop. Honestly, I find that to be one of the most ridiculous reasons to dismiss all reaction content across the board. Just because some people consider it a lazy format doesn't mean it's inherently bad. Think about it for a second. Many of you probably watch podcasts, commentary videos, or even gameplay. 2 out of those 3 I've done plenty of times on my own channel. And let me tell you from personal experience, those can be some of the laziest type of content to produce. You speak into a mic, tweak the audio a bit, slap on some background gameplay, or a drawing if you're a visual commentator, and maybe throw in a thumbnail pulled straight from the video. That's it. You literally can't get much lazier than that. And yet, tons of commentary channels thrive doing exactly that. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I mean that both personally and from the audience perspective. People clearly enjoy it. Same goes for gameplay videos. You're just recording yourself playing a game, maybe with commentary, maybe without. On my second channel, I upload no commentary playthroughs for preservation purposes. Link in the description down below, by the way. But let's be real. Every time I upload no commentary gameplay, I'm technically uploading somebody else's content, somebody else's work. Yeah, that's the truth. No matter how you try to spin it, that's what it is. And I'll admit that. I know what I'm doing. Still, it falls into a legal gray area, just like reaction content, because gameplay can be transformative even without commentary. Developers usually don't mind because it's free advertising. Saves them money on trailers, and honestly, I'd argue that gameplay videos are a form of reaction content. You're literally reacting to the game as you play. That said, it shouldn't be lumped into the same category as reaction videos on YouTube or Twitch, but if anything, it's a subcategory of reaction content. Games are interactive, which means each playthrough is unique. That alone makes it more transformative than simply reacting to a static video. Of course, there are exceptions. Some developers who release story-driven games prefer creators hold off on uploading gameplay until fans have had a chance to experience it themselves. Because if the story is the main draw, and someone watches it all on YouTube or Twitch, they might not buy the game. But eventually, devs usually allow it once the initial sales window passes. At that point, creators can be more transformative with their reactions and personal experiences. That kind of situation is closer to reacting to a movie or a TV show, where the story is the core content and interaction is minimal. Now, since I keep bouncing between videos and streams, let's talk about format differences. With videos, you can edit things down and make your reactions more transformative. If you don't have much to say during certain parts, you can cut those sections out entirely. That helps to avoid copyright issues and accusations of content theft. Well, for the most part. And then there's the creative stuff. Gun sync videos, music videos using game footage, asset breakdowns, lore analysis, commentary with gameplay in the background, even if the commentary isn't about the game itself. I do that all the time. I throw gameplay in the background just to give viewers something to look at while I talk. Some people just listen like it's a podcast, but others appreciate the visuals. Speaking of podcast, let's circle back. What is a podcast? Really? It's basically long-form commentary. Whether it's one person or a group, they are sharing thoughts and opinions on whatever topic they choose. Many podcasts react to news and pop culture, and if you think about it, that's a form of reaction content too. Even if they're not reacting to an article or a video directly. If it's not in podcast form, but instead a well-edited, scripted video, that's essentially a reaction commentary. Not an official category, but in my opinion, it should be considered a subcategory of reaction content. Think of creators like Altiori, if you're familiar with her. So, if you consume podcasts, commentaries, or gameplay, but still hate reaction content, ask yourself, what makes one transformative and the other not? Sometimes they're doing the exact same thing in the exact same style. The only difference is whether it's streamed or edited into a video. Now, if we're going to talk about reaction content that actually does deserve criticism, we need to look at creators like XQC and SSSniperwolf, two of the most visible examples of how reaction content can be done poorly. Take XQC for instance. There are countless clips where he'll start playing someone else's video on stream, then literally walk away to grab food or use the bathroom. No commentary, no engagement, just someone else's content running in the background while he's not even present. That's not transformative, that's not even reactive. It's just passive consumption. And it's hard to argue that it adds any value to the original work. At that point, it's closer to rebroadcasting than reacting. Then there's SSSniperwolf, who takes a different approach, but it's no less problematic. Her reactions are often pre-recorded and edited to appear spontaneous, but they're so minimal that they barely qualify as reactions at all. A quick facial expression, a short sentence, and then back to the original video. It's the bare minimum effort, just enough to skirt around copyright issues without actually engaging with the content in a meaningful way. It's like checking a box that says transformative without doing the work to earn the label. These examples matter because they highlight the differences between using someone else's content and interacting with it. Reaction content can be valuable, insightful, and entertaining, but only when the creator brings something new to the table. Commentary, critique, humor, analysis, something. When creators treat reaction videos as a shortcut to views without putting in the effort, they reinforce the stereotype that all reaction content is lazy. And that's what gives the genre a bad name. So to wrap this all up, reaction content isn't inherently lazy or bad. Like any format, it depends on how you approach it. There's a spectrum from low effort re-uploads to deeply transformative commentary. And it's up to the creator to decide where they want to land. If you're someone who's curious about trying reaction content but unsure how to do it right, look no further than Asmongold. You don't have to copy his style beat for beat, but he's a great example of how to be genuinely transformative. He pauses, he reflects, he adds commentary, he engages with his audience and makes the content his own, even if people don't always agree with his takes. That's what reaction content should be. A conversation, not a copy. At the end of the day, it's not about defending reaction content blindly. It's about recognizing that when done well, it can be just as thoughtful and entertaining and creative as any other format. So if you're going to criticize it, make sure you're aiming at the right targets. And if you're going to create it, aim to elevate it. Before I wrap this video up, I want to address one last complaint I often hear: that reaction videos steal views from the original creator. Honestly, I think that argument completely misunderstands how audiences behave online. Just because someone watches a reaction doesn't mean they're guaranteed to watch the original. In many cases, viewers weren't interested in the original video to begin with, or perhaps they already saw it. Assuming that every reaction view is a lost view for the original creator is a flawed premise. From my own experience, I've skipped original videos multiple times when they showed up in my feed, but after seeing a reaction, I've sometimes gone back and watched the original. Other times, I didn't, because simply put, I wasn't interested. That's not theft. That's just how viewer choice works. At the end of the day, people watch reaction content for the reactor's perspective. If they want to see the original, they will. If they don't, they won't. It's not about stealing, it's about offering a different lens. As a viewer, as long as there's a link in the description, as long as I'm able to find the title and the thumbnail from the video and figure that out from the search bar when I look it up, then there's no issues there. If I want it, I will seek it out. Alright guys, after the HK here, really quickly, for those of you that are new to me, let it be known that I do not do video essay scripted style videos on my channel too often. This is like once in a blue moon. So before you subscribe to my channel just for that, keep that in mind. If you want to still subscribe, go for it, but just keep that in mind. The primary stuff that I typically do on my channel is commentary, sometimes short, sometimes long, typically unscripted, raw thoughts, but commentary videos and gaming videos of any type, but primarily walkthroughs where I do what did I miss, this series of gameplays where I check out games I missed out on when I was young and in their prime, and its extension series difficulty tweak where I go back to play those games on each individual difficulty. Not an entire single player campaign, but just a few selected mission or mission types to properly represent the challenges within a game and see if the difficulties are fair, fun, or complete and utter BS. In the case of easy modes, and yes, I do try out the easy modes as well, we see if they're a decent set of training wheels, if that makes any sense. So let it be known, if you do want to subscribe, that's most likely what you're going to get more of in the near future. So if that's something you would like to see from me in the near future, by all means, subscribe to add a little dose of chaos in your life. If you just want to, subscribe for video essays, maybe commentaries, go for it, but the scripted stuff is once in a while. The unscripted stuff happens more often. Next, for those who are new and used to me, let it be known that my upload frequency is going to decline a lot due to two reasons. Now this has been an issue for quite a while now for my channel. Behind the scenes, I've made it very clear in many previous videos, but it's becoming harder and harder for me to just have some quiet time to record. So you guys are just not hearing people screaming or slamming fucking doors in the background. People have no respect for my recording hobby in this freaking household. I live with a full house with family, by the way. And the second reason is, and I'm just going to be honest here, morale is really low. So I'm just going to relax on videos a whole lot until I really feel like making one, which I really do want to get back to making What Did I Miss in difficulty tweaks so freaking bad, but it's going to have to be whatever mobile game I decide to check out. I'm eventually going to get back to, PUBG, to check out their, more of their, extraction mode, the other maps. And I will eventually have a GTA video following this one, a mass slaughter GTA 5 difficulty tweak. By the way, before anybody says this, I forgot to mention this. Yes, I know GTA has no preset difficulties, but for games... Ooh, sorry about that, I almost knocked my mic. For games that don't have a preset difficulty, we'll experiment and see how we can make the game a little bit more challenging by coming up with shit. We'll just experiment. That's what I'll do. I typically just experiment. I think I've already done this for I think I've done this for Black Ops 6 multiplayer, since you're able to use bots, Battlefield 2042, and even Dead by Daylight. So if you want to see other examples of how I experiment with a difficulty tweak with games that don't have preset difficulties, sort of, technically BL6 and Battlefield 2042 do, even though those were multiplayers, but they do. Nonetheless, I will still try to experiment more with that. Yeah, just a quick heads up. Also, I do want to eventually start doing some game theories related to COD Zombies soon. I just don't know when. Probably after I take care of the PUBG stuff, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed. If not, leave a dislike and a comment telling me why, because any and all interaction is good interaction for my channel and the algorithm, and any and all criticism can help me get better. I already said, of course, subscribe to add a dose of chaos in your life if you do enjoy this stuff. If not, please do leave your dislikes, because they do matter, and I appreciate your time even if you didn't enjoy it. Oh, and by the way, before you think like Asmongold is my favorite creator or whatever, not really. I like the guy, he's alright. I wouldn't honestly consider him one of my top 5 creators of all time. I don't think he's even in the top 10, not even top 20. Like, no disrespect to the guy. I do like him. I watch him from time to time. I just think he is the gold standard of reaction content. That's it. That doesn't mean he's one of my favorite creators. Just letting y'all know. And no, making a video on him doesn't mean anything. One of my number 1 favorite creators is DashEXP, and I will probably never make a video on him. I don't even know what video I would ever make on him if I wanted to. So yeah, being a favorite creator has nothing to do with this. Alright, just let it be known. HK out. See you guys next time for that GTA difficulty tweak. And have a good one.